In Hebrews chapter 11, it walks us through the concept of faith and gives us several wonderful examples from the Old Testament. And the idea is that faith is what inspires us to earnestly seek God. We don't just believe in Him as in we think there has to be a God. I think He exists. But we believe He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. And so we actually earnestly seek Him and we do the things that we know He's told us to do. No matter how crazy that feels to us, no matter how crazy that looks to everyone around us. One of the examples it gives is Abraham in verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going. By faith, he made his home in the promised land like a stranger in a foreign country. He lived in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him of the same promise. For he was looking for a city with foundations, whose architect and builder is God. Here's my simple encouragement to you today. On the far end of God's plans for you, at the end of those plans, is a city, a place, a promised land that's unlike anything that we could even imagine. It's better than we can imagine. And that is the hope that drives us as Christians. But there's also a promised land for each of us here and now. The more I meditate on Jesus' life and his teachings, the more I see that almost everything he talked about was what we would experience here and now and what we should do about it and what it looks like to trust him in this world and what it looks like to build his kingdom on earth. He told us to pray every day that God's kingdom would come on earth as it is in heaven. That what would happen here and now would look like God's will just as much as it does from whatever throne room he actually sits in. That's such an important concept for us to remember on a day-to-day basis, that whether we see what he's doing or not, whether we get it or not, if God is telling us to do something, we've got to get about it. And little by little, that's going to leave a legacy, just like Abraham did, that lasts. Anything else, it might feel right, it might feel good in the moment, but it's just going to ultimately waste our time and everybody else's. So God bless you. Do something that matters, something God said to do today.